Today I'm going to show you how we go about building a deck over an existing alfresco area. So when the concrete's already done with the house build, just in this little 3 by 8.5 metre area, and we're going to be using some plastic deck feet. So these are the deck feet we're going to be using. They're called a mini foot from Eurotec, so we just get them from Bunnings. But there's different sizes, and these ones are adjustable from 25 to 40 mil, so you can dial that down. So that's at 40 mil when it's dialed all the way up, so it's 40 mil thick. And then you can dial it down to 25 mil thick. So this slab is falling away, so we're starting at 25, but luckily that just works out well for the height of the door threshold, and then at the end it'll be close to 40. Worst case scenario, if we need to get bigger ones, we can just get them, and they go from I think 40 to 65 or 70. But hopefully these will do the trick. So I've just run that straight edge across the outside. That's where our faceboard's going to be. The width of these is about 55 mil. So we're going to have the 90 by 45 sitting upright on there. So it'll leave about 10 mil there on the outside. And because we want the faceboard to go past down there, we're going to double up these joists along this side. So I've got that straight edge along the outside, come in 22 mil because that's the thickness of the decking board, and then a further 90 mil for a double joist, the 90 by 45 there. So I've dialed this one down already, and hopefully that's the right height. So we'll be checking the height of them all and adjusting them using the laser level before we screw them off. You can do it later, but it's a lot easier doing it before you attach them to the slab. Pretty good. So we'll do this row first, and then we'll put the timber in, and then be measuring off from them as we go. So that's in position now. So we'll drill the holes, fill it with spaghetti, and then screw it off. And then we'll put the next two in, and then we've got that bit of timber there that we'll fix in, and we'll show you how that's done. Then when we add another one to the outside, then it'll be 22 mil from that straight edge, which is where the decking board the faceboard will go on. So that's partly what the frame's going to look like there. I'm going to run another row of noggins along near the house wall, but I just had to go and get some more of the deck feet. So we were using the mini feet, which go 25 to 40 mil, but this slab is all over the place. So over this end it falls away really sharply in the corner. So I've had to get those 5 large ones, which are called the small foot, and they go 35 to 60 mil because the 40 mil wasn't big enough. So there we have the frame all done, sitting on the deck feet. So I only had to get the 5 of the small feet as opposed to the mini feet. So this end is the bottom of the joist is sitting, I think it's 55 mil above the slab, and then you've got the other end is 25 mil. So I don't know why that's so different, but so whoever did the house slab didn't care that much. But it's all ready for the decking boards to go on, which is going tomorrow. So it's 90 mil Silvertop Ash, and then there's bluestone going on the pool paving, and then there's that drain there. So there'll be a gap between the paving and the deck, and the water will fall away from the pool into that strip drain there, and any water that gets underneath this pergola area, the alfresco area, will drain that way as well. So the first thing we've done now when we're getting the decking boards on is putting the two on the outside so that we can work out exactly how evenly they should be spaced. So we don't want to have a rip at either end, which is a board cut in half or a small slither of a board. So I've got that board against the house. So when you're measuring from it, you want to go from the same side of the board that you're measuring from to the same side of the board that you're measuring to. So if you're going on the right hand side of the board against the house, measure to the right hand side of that board on the left there and divide that by what you want your boards and your gaps to be, which in our case is 91 mil because the board's 86, gaps want to be 5 mil, and it worked out to be 91.09 for a board and a gap, so it works out pretty well. And then the next thing we'll do is start putting every fifth board in. So you've got your spacer boards and then we fill in between, so that way you can't get too far wrong with your gaps. So there we have it, the deck's all done, screwed off, and nice straight lines. The boys have done well screwing them off. And once again, the reason we've got it like that is because we started at the house with a straight board, and you want to check, use a string to check how straight the house is, because I'm yet to find a straight one. So you want to run a string along there to make sure that your board starts straight, so you don't have a consistent curve all the way through it, and then just measure every fifth board and screw that off from that board, and you can't go wrong. So first time using these screws too, and they look pretty nice and they're really small, so they don't stand out too much, but that's looking pretty good. And then the paving started today as well, and the coping's on.